Connor, how different does this offensive line group feel heading into year 3 than the last 2 you played with at Auburn?
I think the biggest thing is just a combination of talent as well as how we've meshed so far at this point in the season. So I'm really excited to get to work with these guys in fall camp and then compete with them in the season.
We'll go over in the 4th row.
Hey, Connor, you guys are opening with Baylor. I know the last couple of seasons y'all have opened with teams that aren't quite at Baylor's level. How much of a difference do you think that's going to make in fall camp? Have you seen it kind of make any difference in the summer with the kind of the focus and the intensity?
I'm not sure that it changes the preparation, but opening up with a game like that, the opportunity to get a head start and get some momentum going into the season, that's going to be really big for us that week.
Stay on the 4th row.
Connor, last season, the Auburn offense struggled at times to turn red zone possessions into touchdowns. What needs to change, and how much of that's on the offensive line?
I think the biggest thing that will help us with that this season is just, I think we're a lot more well-rounded. We run in a bunch of new receivers. I think our run game will continue to be strong, and that'll balance it out and open up both for us. So that should help.
We'll go on the front row here on the right.
Hey, Connor. Tony Reese, WTVM out of Columbus. I'm sorry if you already answered. Coach Freeze gave you a lot of praise and a lot of credit for being a cornerstone now, this offensive line being one of the best ones he's had since he's been again. Just kind of what does that mean for you as a prideful thing, and just kind of how you really hope to capitalize on that this season with you and your guys?
Yeah, I'm honored to be in the center position and kind of get the play started every time, IDing and all that stuff. So I take pride in that stuff, and it's awesome here.
We'll stay on the front row.
Connor, you guys bring in X and Mason. Got a chance to see Mason a little bit in the spring, but what have you seen from those two guys that make you excited about them heading into a season?
Just how both of them come in with experience at other places. It was really cool to see them pick up the offense fast and made our jobs easier. We didn't have to spend a lot of time on coaching up. We could get straight into the technique, but the calls and stuff they picked up and that made it easy on us. So that was really cool.
Go on the 4th row and then pass it back.
Connor, obviously you were able to block for Jarquez for a couple years. He was super productive for you guys. What have you seen from this running back group that makes you confident you guys are going to be able to fill that production?
I think they're all good in their own way, these three guys, and I'm excited to see them, get their opportunities and showcase their talents for us in the run game.
5th row.
William Halliday, Auburn Undercover. Connor, Coach Freeze talked about Jordan Crawford's impact this offseason. You've gone up against him in practice. Can you kind of talk about his impact just on the team and what he's done this offseason?
Yeah, just being out in the spring, I didn't really get a chance to go, one-on-one against him. But watching the film and stuff, I think he's going to be really good for us, especially as a freshman. He's really strong. I think that's the biggest thing that sticks out about him. So I'm excited to see how he develops this year, and I'm sure he'll get his opportunity at some point.
Front row.
Hey, Connor. Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 in Birmingham. Kirby Smart was just up here, was asked a question about league expansion and that potentially the Auburn-Georgia game could be on the chopping block. Can you imagine a world where that rivalry game would go away, and what does that game personally mean to you?
That game's big for me personally because obviously I'm from Georgia. Grew up, a lot of my friends are Georgia fans, so I'd hate to see that game go. But yeah, I think that's a staple of the history between two programs too, so,
4th row.
Connor, obviously you got to have a connection with all the quarterbacks, especially as the center. But talk about your connection with Jackson and how that's kind of grown from the spring, the kind of work that y'all do in the summer, and just how that's developed.
Yeah, it was cool to see because he came in from another SEC program. So when he first got here, we got a chance to watch some film, and I got to pick his brain about some things he's done differently. But I can't speak highly enough about him off the field, just as a person. I mean, we've gotten a chance to go out to eat with the receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, and just getting to know each other. I think that helps with us meshing. But really, all three of the quarterbacks, I could say the same about them.
4th row.
Connor, you got two guards on either side of you who have played a lot of college football in Dylan Wade and Jeremiah Wright. How has that helped, being around guys that veteran, and what have you learned from those teammates?
I think the biggest thing with those guys returning, it makes our communication a lot more efficient. That way, if we do get into a sticky situation, maybe something we didn't practice during the week, we have more time and we're kind of on the same page faster where we can communicate and figure out how we want to block something.
3rd row.
Good morning, Connor. AP Stedham, APS, we see it. Connor, how was it to block for Jackson Arnold and Deuce Knight and the other quarterback from Stanford.
Yeah, they're extremely talented, and like I said, we've meshed super well since all of them got here, and they're all great people off the field, so that kind of makes you want to block harder for them when you're on the field.
Connor, you always hear that offensive linemen are the best talkers and most interesting people to talk to on a team. Why is that?
I think just something about being in an offensive line room, there's a bunch of people from all over the place. Obviously, that's the biggest room on the team, so you're balancing a lot of different characters, personalities, so I think that's what makes them unique.
Right side.
Alex Byington on 3. Connor, Hugh mentioned that within a couple months, Jackson was able to kind of become a team leader so far as voting everybody went. What specifically was he able to do to gather everybody's, favoritism at that point?
I think it was just came down to his natural command of the team. Obviously, you want a quarterback that won't shy away from that type of stuff and will speak up when needed, and I think he showcased that from the moment he stepped on campus and kind of took the team over by doing that.
4th row.
Connor, you and Keldrick have been together since you guys came in the same recruiting class. How have you seen him develop as a player, going from a guy who was really talented out of high school, and now you look and he's at most places projected as a first-round pick next year?
It's been really cool because obviously we got in at the same time, so that means every year we've been together, we've gotten a chance to compete in our own ways, and I think it's made me better. I hope he said it made him better too, getting a chance to compete against me. But just seeing him, develop as a pass rusher, develop in the run game, going from someone out of high school to now someone who can do a bunch of different things, and I'm glad we don't have to play him in the fall because that'd be a nightmare to scout and do all that stuff and watch film on. So
We'll go on the 4th, and then we'll finish here with 2 in the front.
Jarquez was obviously a huge part of last year's offense. Auburn moving on without him, with some new faces at the running back position. What can you say about that group and the production that you expect this year?
Yeah, I think having guys like Cobb and Damari who have come back and they've experienced offense now, and Darrell too. Really, he came in a little banged up, but all 3 of them really seem to understand what we're trying to accomplish in the run game, and they're all talented in their own ways. So I'm excited for all of them to get their opportunities and help us.
Front row.
There's obviously 6 or 7 of you older guys who are a couple of young guys maybe off the radar that might surprise some people this year on the offensive line that if they have a chance to play can get in there and get the job done.
I know on the D-line we talked about Jordan Crawford, I think Malik Autry too, Jared Smith. On the offensive line, Cale Ellis, Jacoby Ward, Ty Buster, all of them, I'm speaking on the offensive line room, but all of them have picked up the calls and everything pretty fast for freshmen. So whenever their time comes, I think it'll be good to see.
No doubt about it, Connor. We talk about the progression now being in this system for quite some time now, and just the progression of not only yourself, but just what you're seeing to consistently play at the SEC level. Just kind of how do you bring it each season, or how you improve each season?
I think just focusing, for me this season, it was big to focus on the bigger picture. And obviously, when you first get in as a freshman, you can't do that. So just finding new areas to help you help the team really.
BetOnline continues to be your #1 source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline. The game starts here.